Sensitive content incoming.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 16 of the Squatch and Yeti Show. I'm Squatch.
I'm Yeti.
Thanks for everyone listening. First off, we want to thank all the listeners all over the world. Before I check in on my buddy Yeti, I want to give a shout out to all of our international listeners, dude.
I made a quite list, a few, don't we?
I made a list of all the countries that we have listeners at. We have Belgium, Singapore, Germany, Russia, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Hong Kong and China as well.
So we got a few more than last you showed me.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's really awesome, man. We have listeners all over the states and Texas especially. But
I love it. It's awesome. But now I'm sitting here wondering how we sound in a different language. I would love to see that. Send like a clip or something to us, like just a segment of the show being spoken in your language. Like that would be amazing.
We'll say, are y'all hearing us in English? And if you learned English in another country, I'm sorry, ours is horrible.
Yes. We are not good.
But if we're getting translated, I want to hear how awful we sound in Russian.
And that's what I'm saying. I want to hear in Chinese or something, like just a little segment, a little short clip. Like just a little audio, I'm curious because, it's this episode, this segment, 5 minutes in, put a timestamp on what episode it is. Like that would be kind of funny.
Find the most offensive thing we said in that episode.
Yeah, because then we could compare it side by side to how we sound, and then the translation. I think it'd be amazing. There's a doggo demanding attention.
Yeah, she's always demanding attention.
She's like, stop talking to each other, love me.
So what have you been up to this week, man?
Working. Same thing you've been doing.
I don't want to talk about that place, dude.
That's why I was like, working. Just the same thing as you. So you know what I've been going through. Well, last night I had a little me time, if you probably couldn't tell. I'm a little bit more energetic today. I'm still there. But not quite at the altitude.
Different kind of me time that I was thinking of.
The hell were you? No, okay, no.
Cue the drums.
No, we can't be doing that already. Trying to be tamed because in the last episode I was dropping a crap ton of curse words, and I apologize for that. But we are a lightning bolt for your annoyance, anger, frustrations, whatever have you.
And we do apologize for any foul language we might use. We probably will use it.
We will. We will be talking about stuff, so there probably will be some excitement behind our voices and not a filter to, catch those dirty words. Wordy dirds. I mixed up my saying.
So, again, explicit content warning.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be at the beginning of the episode as well. Although I don't mind that one time. That was pretty funny. You thought, and you probably will try again, and we will still be here again with the same issue. And it's okay. It makes me happy. How you been doing, man?
I've been good. Last night at work, that last-minute discharge we had killed my back. But
that's why I warned you. I was like, hey, man, I'm about to clock out of here, just a FYI. A family's supposed to come and pick them up, but they're just not here. So you're probably going to have to do it later.
Yeah, it was not fun. It put me way behind, and you know how I feel when I get behind at work.
Oh,
I get very aggravated.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of something else. This is probably why people think that we're like a couple or something, because we have that brotherhood from that. You should go back a couple episodes, listen to that episode about brotherhood and being your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper, whatever have you. Yeti and Squatch are very close. That doesn't help.
Say it like that, man.
That doesn't help. Little ADHD, but I'm excited for today because
yes, we are continuing part 2 of our Marvelous Talks.
Yeah, Marvelous Talks. I haven't seen the title yet. God, I'm a terrible co-host.
But
I really am bad, aren't I? Anyway,
so we ended last time kind of talking about Marvel games and whatnot, and you come over bringing up the Marvel Suns game, and you showed me
The Midnight Suns, yeah.
You're getting Marvel Suns, Midnight Sun. Gosh,
Marvel Suns. I mean, a lot of them. A lot of Marvel
but
Suns.
you showed me the trailer, which they had Michael Jai White as Blade.
Yes, yes. And just FYI, that was credited to Rob Lopez. Check out his Instagram. Hopefully, at some point, we'll have that guy come on here, and we can maybe revisit this topic or some other ones because that guy's got a lot of stuff he's been talking about. So he's the one who actually pointed me because I didn't really see much of any of the Midnight Suns. I saw how the gameplay was, kind of like the turn-based thing, and dude, I don't mind that, but I'm kind of out because I want a little bit more interaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the turn-based games.
Oh,
I used to play one of the old X-Men games on Xbox,
Yeah.
and I remember getting it, and I didn't even know the game was a thing. I got it for Christmas one year, and was like, "Oh, I'm super stoked!" And it's turn-based, and after about 10 minutes, I was like, "I'm over this."
Yeah, it's not. It's not that it's bad. It's just not my game style. Like, and anyway, back to the Midnight Sun thing was like, I was like, oh, this is what we were freaking talking about. Rob had went through the favor of us, not really us asking, but we appreciate it. He found a trailer of Michael Jai White dressed as Blade, and I will say, I think Squatch might agree with me on this. Not a fan of the gold.
No, I didn't like the suit, but him as
But
Blade.
the way he was, just the way he presented himself in the suit was cool. Like I do appreciate that.
Well, like, he would be an ideal candidate to play Blade. I know I said this in the last episode,
Yeah.
but the reason being is, okay, Blade is a daywalker. He's half vampire.
Yes.
So he's not quite as strong as the other vampires, thus meaning he would have to have the edge in some form of combat skill.
Yeah, martial arts trainings and such of that nature.
In White, he is a phenomenal martial artist
Yes.
on top of being a good actor.
Yep. I think he. I know another character we talked about. It's not. Is he really a Marvel or is he just his own thing, which is Spawn? Spawn's his own thing.
Spawn's with a different comic book
I
company.
know it's like Seth MacFarlane, right?
Todd McFarlane.
Seth
You're
MacFarlane.
thinking of
I'm
Family
thinking
Guy.
of Family Guy. Yep. Jesus.
Todd McFarlane used to work for Marvel, and I think he did some of the
that's why
Ghost Rider type stuff.
That's why I was thinking that Spawn was a part of Marvel.
And I may be wrong, but I think he pitched Spawn to Marvel, and they rejected it,
which makes no fucking sense. But yes, that's right. They rejected it, and now because Todd McFarlane's like, all right, he's got that fuck you energy. First F-bomb. He does that, and he's just, dude. The Spawn alone, I think, really made him stand out amongst everything.
I cannot remember the name of his comic company.
I'm gonna just Google it for you.
I know a lot of his characters. They're very horror based comics.
Well, I feel like would it be horror or like grim dark?
Maybe a mix of the two.
Because I know I love the Warhammer 40K stuff, which I know you do. You know about Warhammer 40K?
A little bit. I know,
dude. At some point, if you can do some research on it, I would love to talk about it because Warhammer 40K is just a large continuity provided by literally anyone and everyone. The whole universe is a grim, dark thing. Like, one of the craziest things I've ever heard of is just common knowledge. And anyway, a chaos god is made from a blood orgy pretty much done by an entire planet of dark elves. In Warhammer, they're called Eldar, but they're dark elves. The entire planet is consumed by a blood orgy, to which it then spawns a chaos god of those things called Slanesh. Yeah.
That's yeah. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Oh yeah. Excuse me, dude. It's crazy.
I've been wanting to check out the Warhammer stuff because I know Henry Cavill
loves it. dude.
Yeah, like I think he actually plays in
He
like
does.
the Warhammer series or whatever.
He does. He does quite a bit of stuff with it. Like I had one of those moments the other night. I was playing an Xbox, and it was Monday night. I was up late, probably should have been, but I couldn't sleep. So I'm sitting there playing games, and the guy I'm talking to on Xbox, we had the Henry Cavill moment where he's on that talk show
Yeah.
where it's like he's like, oh wait, you know Warhammer 40K? Oh wow! Like he's just like kind of like starstruck to a degree because like how often do you come across or like unless you specifically go to like a game shop or something, you don't really come across these kinds of people, let alone two celebrities on the same stage interviewing one another. So
Yeah. So that's kind of like for like the dudes our age. Like, we were in Walmart that one day and we randomly heard the communicator tone go off on somebody's phone.
yes, I
And
remember
it's
that.
like,
That was awesome.
where is our new best friend? Where
Yeah.
is he? It's like, that's both of our like text tone.
Yep, it's pretty cool. Like when my alarm goes off in the morning, it's the dragon flute being played.
That's mine too. And my girlfriend hates it because it is loud.
Yes, it wakes me up, and I feel exactly how the Dragon Zord does every damn morning.
Hey, why I gotta be messing with
Why-
them people? Just let them do their thing.
Why you gotta-
It's just one city.
I gotta fucking come out of the water like God. Fuck, you know how hard it is to climb out of water when you weigh this much? Anyway, I was looking that thing up, and you got me distracted talking about other nonsense. Typical ADHD right there.
No, like, so if Michael Jai White doesn't ever get a chance to play Blade, I would love to see him revisit Spawn. Like, I know we were just talking about like Jamie Foxx possibly getting to play Spawn.
I think he's already been. I think he's been confirmed to be
Yeah.
to be that.
I've heard that it's confirmed, and I've heard that it's still in talks. I mean, I think Jamie will do an awesome Spawn. He's a great actor. But again, like White was so phenomenal as Spawn. I think the only thing that held his movie back was like the like really poor like 90s like CGI.
So everything I'm seeing is just it's just a Todd McFarlane line. Like I don't maybe
Might be
I'm-
like McFarlane Comics or something like that.
yeah, maybe because like everything's like, oh, is Spawn Marvel or DC? Nope. Oh, is he Dark Horse? Nope. Which Dark Horse would make some sense, but
Yeah.
at the same time, he's not Dark Horse. So I think it's just from what I'm seeing on the Google translating is Todd McFarlane. Like it's just his. That's all it is. It's just Todd McFarlane's comics.
Maybe so.
I'm
But,
trying to find it, but yeah. McFarlane. It's Todd McFarlane Entertainment.
Hmm.
It's a film and animation studio. Well, that's the movie, I guess. Oh, that's the comics too. Yeah, cool. I wanted to say it was Dark Horse at some point, but now I don't know what to think because I knew I could have swore that they fucking worked together, but I guess not. But it makes sense though. Like I said, Todd McFarlane had that hardcore like fuck you energy to Marvel and everybody else. He's like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. So he quite literally did that and just did Todd McFarlane animation and film studio. That's pretty cool.
So, another thing we were talking about right before we started recording, I want to talk a little bit about like kind of flops in the Marvel universe, the MCU particularly.
Oh, you mean like Elektra?
Yeah, Elektra. I was going a little more recent. We were talking about the second Black Panther movie.
Oh yeah, the really thing that
And
should never been done. I'm not
here's
saying that.
the thing. I think there was like
Just
one or
not
two
okay.
lines of comics with where Shuri becomes
yeah.
the Black Panther.
Yep.
But
They
it
shouldn't have
just-
done it that way. It's the same thing they did with Gore. Like,
It
They-
was just a really lackluster
yeah.
deal. What I think, and I've been saying this since the movie come out, and I watched it a couple times to like give it a chance. Everything else was really good about the movie. I just wasn't a fan of Shuri becoming the Black Panther.
So I'm not
I
gonna lie.
loved her as Shuri, the tech sidekick.
So this is going to sound very sexist, but I don't like her as Black Panther. Like I refuse to watch the film because I don't like that she's Black Panther.
Well, there were other
She
parts
was
of the film that were good. Like
there probably is, but the way I perceive her is she's like Alfred to Batman.
kind of.
Like, that's like T'Challa was Batman and she is Alfred. She was the tech person. She's like, oh, don't worry, I got you. Like she computer this, computer that. Oh, he's over here, and like guiding him via the Can you get your
But
okay?
like, so where they totally missed an opportunity, in Infinity War, or was it Infinity War, or
I think it was Infinity War. No,
yeah, it was Infinity War, not Endgame, because it's where they wind up fighting in Wakanda. So it's in Infinity War, but where they kind of introduced Bucky is go get the White Wolf. I know in the comics Bucky was not the White Wolf.
yeah, he was. There was a line of comics where Bucky was White Wolf, and he for a moment protected Wakanda while T'Challa was off doing his thing.
Well, so the original story of White Wolf was it was like an adopted child that T'Chaka
Yeah,
saved, and he raised him
the
to
Bucky
be
Barnes
like
one
his
though.
to be like his heir, and then basically T'Challa was born, so he got kind of cast off to the side, and he was the White Wolf, and he was supposed to be like kind of T'Challa's right hand man. And at one point, like he rebels against Wakanda and all that, anti-hero
Yeah.
arc, jealous brother thing.
See,
But I think they could have used Bucky as the White Wolf.
which movie was it? Where at like the post-credit scenes or whatever, like it shows Bucky getting handed that vibranium cybernetic arm. Because like he's standing there, like it was like a clear like White Wolf energy. He's the only white dude in Wakanda. And then he was completely
that's Infinity War, because he's like out working the fields for him, and when they're like because he didn't have his arm on,
he was wearing full white clothing, and they walk up to bring him that arm. Yes,
yeah, the vibranium arm.
That's what I was saying. I was like, that was Infinity War, right?
Yeah,
okay,
that was before the fight at Wakanda.
Okay, because I was like, dude, that makes so much sense. I was like, they could have just had him be White Wolf.
Like, oh, T'Challa's dead.
Yes.
We need Bucky to come back and protect Wakanda.
And I understand, like, there's the whole Falcon and Winter Soldier series where, like, he's a big part of it. Yes, I haven't seen it, but I don't like that. Like, why the fuck didn't they do the Bucky Barnes going into to be the White Wolf? Like, it would have been so much better, man.
So they even kind of set it up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I actually love that series, because it wasn't some super campy, positive Marvel thing.
I have to look
into
it.
It kind of had like a superhero take on like a cop partner show kind of thing. But so
I might take a look at it, but I didn't like how like I think the reason why I haven't seen it is because I've seen glimpses of like the Captain America that's in it, and I'm like, dude, what's wrong with his chin?
Well, okay, that plays a big part in like the future stuff with Marvel, like the Thunderbolts and all that.
I was gonna say, is that like the Hydra cap? Because that'd be crazy.
So
the way that the clip I saw, because fucking doom scrolling.
Yeah,
I see quotation marks here, Captain America addressing Bucky and Falcon or whatever about something. He's like, I'm Captain America. I have the shield. I was like, bro.
So
that's giving me a hardcore like Hydra cap right there.
Sam was given the shield from Cap, and he didn't feel right as Captain America.
Yeah.
So he gave it to a museum in Steve's honor. Great, cool. But then the government put a fake shield there.
Of course they did.
They branded a new Captain America, and the guy was supposed to be this really good soldier, but at the end of the day, like he wasn't like a super soldier or anything like that. He injects himself with the super soldier serum, goes a little wonky, winds up actually like killing somebody with the shield. And needless to say, it ends with Sam taking the shield from him, and like you see him at the end, he's rocking the red, white, and blue Falcon suit with the shield And I like that. I know a lot of people have mixed reviews on it,
I don't
but
like
there
Falcon
is a
being Captain America. I don't know why. It's just not my.
well, there's a comic story where after Steve dies, Falcon takes over.
No, I know.
And
I'm not a fan of it. Like
I am because
I've never been a big fan of like the character that plays two heroes in one. Like I don't know why. I've never been a big fan of like the two superheroes is what I'm getting at.
well,
Like,
I mean that's no different than like Robin becoming Nightwing.
yes, I understand that, but I'm like that's like you fused Captain America and
Well, I mean
Falcon. That's what I was getting at.
the reason he had to do that because he wasn't a super soldier.
No, I know.
So to
and that's
kind of
when I think of Captain America. This is why I say my opinion. I didn't like it because when I think of Captain America, I think of this super soldier who is insanely good at geography and for some reason can disobey the laws of physics because the way that shield operates makes no sense. That's all I was saying. It's like when you think of Venom, like you think of what we usually think of, which is like a black symbiote suit with like the white like alien looking spider type thing on it because he's trying to resemble an evil version of Spider-Man. But he's like super muscular, like he's got the big mouth with the long tongue. We don't see that very often in most movies now, but like the video games, I feel like, and if we ever get to play, like I am waiting for the end of the year to happen so badly because of Marvel Rivals coming to console. Dude, Venom looks like the fucking coolest character in that game to me. Anyway, that's what I was getting at.
So, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's about the time they're recording it when Chadwick Boseman died.
Yes,
and you see at one point the Dora Milaje or whatever they pull like they corner Bucky, and I don't remember if they say it exactly, but they give him some disturbing news.
Shocker.
And which I'm like, okay, so they're quite literally telling him the death of T'Challa, and that could have been like a "we need you to come back."
Yeah,
you killed our king before, so we need you to be our protector.
Yep.
And that would have been so awesome. Could have been like
it could have
they could have even called it Black Panther 2: Rise of the White Wolf.
Dude, that would have been fucking amazing.
Like imagine
that's an amazing title. Like
Bucky Barnes in like a white vibranium suit with his arm
with the fucking like a little fur pelt around him. That would have been sick. Kind of like Kraven the Hunter, but not.
Like,
dude, yes. Like, and what
Marvel,
what they
listen
could have done
to
with that
us.
too. What they could have done with that as well. That would have been amazing because, like you were saying, like you killed our king, so we need you to like. What's more like, we helped you.
He's repaying his debt.
You need to help us. Like like you're repaying. Like we healed you from all your fucking crazy brainwash bullshit that happened to you from fucking Hydra. We did this. We did this. You have an arm now. You're not the Winter Soldier anymore. We need you to come be this.
And then at that point, they wouldn't have to like break tradition and let him, ingest the herb because he is a super soldier.
Yes. So,
and what they could have done, because at the end of that, they show where T'Challa had a son that no one knew about.
Yep.
And they could have had him like
that would
take
set it
T'Challa's
up.
kid.
I was going to say that would set it up for a third Black Panther, whatever it would be titled, where Bucky trains in his film.
Black Panther 3: The New King.
Yeah, there you go. That fucking dude, you're giving me chicken skin. You need to stop.
Kevin Feige, hire me to name all your films.
Name all your films. But like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. And then now, like I saw here recently, they had the Red Hulk coming into the fucking verse. Like, I'm excited about
With
that.
Harrison Ford, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's in everything cool. Like, I don't know. It looks good though. Like I saw like the whole like he grabs the shield and he throws it down. I was like, bro. Oh, we have to have Red Hulk. So I'm curious if like how are they gonna face him? Because in certain comics, Red Hulk is stronger than Hulk himself.
Yeah, well, like the Red Hulk, like the more angry he gets, whereas the Hulk got stronger.
Yeah,
he literally went like radiant or whatever. Like,
but so, yeah,
he would heat up.
He gets stronger with the more radiation he acquires. So the angrier he becomes, producing more
He
radiation.
essentially becomes a nuclear bomb.
Yes. Like, that just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which is bad. So, yeah.
I'm stoked for it, like, especially because we have Abomination in the MCU now.
I'd be kind of cool to see him in Abomination fight, just as like a little like rival type thing of like you fucking Hulk's
Maybe
my.
if we're lucky, you know, Red Hulk will just, oh no, She-Hulk died. Whoops. I hate her character.
I unalived
especially.
I unalived your cousin. Get angry and fight me, dude. I saw her twerking in her office. That was my case, you batch. But yeah, dude, like that would make so much sense though if they would have done it that route. And like I know that there's a Ghost Rider character for like another Marvel series. I think it's like Agents of Shields.
Yeah.
Rob and I were talking about it on messages, right? And it's the Robbie Reyes fucking Ghost Rider in that series, where like with the muscle car and everything.
Which would be awesome.
They need to make that a thing. Also, I would love, like we've talked about this earlier on the previous episode, the Ghost Rider game. Hear me out. How fucking cool would it be to be playing as Robbie Reyes and you're just walking around? You go to get, it's kind of like a GTA type game, right? Kind of like the Batman Arkham Knight game. You get into your car and then you just see him like ignite into flame, and the car just and hellfire and transforms into the Ghost Rider's fucking car, and then you just drive around. You will fucking find like kind of like, I wouldn't say copy it exactly, but like you can drive to different segments, and maybe like a quick load screen is like the car transitioning from like, you know, time elapse from it driving from like the fucking California beach over to New York monuments, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But, like, that'd be kind of fucking cool. It's not you're just in one central area that he patrols. Like, Ghost Rider is all over the place.
Yeah.
But,
so,
like,
with Ghost Rider, you know, we talked about, like, anything he touches essentially comes to, like, become, like, a hell weapon or whatever for him. So, imagine this. Ghost Rider just loses his ever-loving mind, jumps behind the controls of a helicopter.
So it's funny you say that because if
imagine some flaming helicopter shooting essentially warheads at you.
So I'm pretty sure there's a comic line out there which is a cosmic Ghost Rider who for one goes back in time and like fucking, or doesn't go back in time. Frank Castle, no, he goes back in. I can't remember. I'll find the comic. Cosmic Ghost Rider goes to kill baby Thanos to stop shit from happening.
Yeah.
Ends up taking care of baby Thanos, which I think it might have been the Punisher, who is one of the ones who took care of the baby Thanos, because Ghost Rider comes back to like check on him, and Thanos is now like a Thanos Punisher. It's crazy.
That's frightening,
dude. The whole comic line is kind of weird, and like anyway, I will go off that in a second. But Cosmic Ghost Rider actually possesses the fucking body of a celestial, making like a cosmic hell celestial thing. God, dude, I was like, holy shit! And he's using it to fight another celestial. So I was like, dude, that's amazing.
See, I love the kind of off the beaten path Marvel comics where like different people take on the moniker of like Ghost Rider. Like I'm pretty sure there's one where Frank Castle becomes Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
and if it's not, either somebody just suggested it to me, that would be insane. Like, you imagine the Punisher being the Ghost Rider?
I don't think Cosmic Ghost Rider is Frank Castle. I know he's an older Johnny Blaze.
Well, there is also one where like I heard about this. It might have just been like a 1 or 2 issue thing. But where, like, Peter Parker actually gets, like, the Ghost Rider, whatever, possession, and...
Really?
Yeah, I don't...
Ghost Spider.
I want to say that's part of, like, the Cosmic Spider-Man thing.
Maybe.
I know...
So I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not really a big Spider-Man fan, so I don't have too much knowledge of him.
I like the Spider-Man stuff from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited to see because supposedly it's supposed to be a. I will watch this if it does come to fruition. The Spider-Man Noir, where like Johnny Cage. Why was I going to say Johnny Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna have Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. I mean, he's an actor. That makes sense, bro.
The fastest Spider-Man ever.
But yes, I'm curious to see how that's gonna turn out because I kind of imagine just a Big Daddy from Kick-Ass being Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like he's just come child. We have to go fucking fire guns. Like just trying to be gentleman-like and everything, and like when he goes unhinged, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think it's either gonna be really awesome or really bad. I'm gonna watch it and make my
Yeah.
own decision. Like,
Well, I want them to. Speaking of Spider-Man, real quick, I haven't seen the second Spider-Man verse animated film. I want to watch it. Is it on? Is it on
it's,
Netflix or anything?
I want to say it's on Netflix.
Oh, great. Anyway, I need to watch that, but I really want that Batman Beyond that was pitched.
Yes. Oh my god,
Dude. I was it me? Like I know you know about it. Like didn't I show you like somebody released like a couple panels of artwork for it, and dude, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean it's quite literally Batman Beyond, like in the style of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse, whatever.
The little. I feel like it was better. I mean, it's just a single panel I saw, but I was like, I feel like it was better drawn. I think because they were really trying hard to get that pitched and picked up, and like, yeah, let's fucking run it.
Yeah, well, also you got to realize like the people that are more fans of like Terry and Batman Beyond are like older,
Yeah,
so pitched a
but-
little more for an adult audience. But whereas Miles Morales is kind of more of a kid-friendly
but
Spider-Man.
they could have easily pitched it for like the newer generation to pick up on and have more than just your standard Bruce Wayne Batman. Like Terry's Batman is so good. Looks cool. He's still learning to do himself and everything, do his own thing. So like it made sense. And then, like I said, with Terry's a younger guy, so you could maybe get one of these younger actors in to do his younger voice
Yeah.
and give him some of that modern slang or something. I don't know, but it would have been so good to see that because like I'm just imagining like the Titan AE type storyline with the Batman Beyond. You know, like it'd be so cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
What you doing? Got dogs after me. He wants my attention. Up, she's gonna go see her daddy now. Yeah, that's my take, man. Like I would love for that to be something. Like I want more Batman or just a Batman Beyond film like that or another series because Batman Beyond was one of my favorite Batmans of all time. Like I know it's not your traditional Bruce Wayne super money kind of guy, but it's cool to see him like mentoring that kind of Batman. And hell, they could even do like a Michael Keaton. If they could get Michael Keaton back in as Bruce, or like a reality where he
So,
didn't get murdered.
There was a pitched movie script that was scripted and everything. But unfortunately, as much as I like Zack Snyder, he cut this one. It was a Batman Beyond live action with
Why?
Michael Keaton playing old man Bruce Wayne
Why did they cut that?
because it didn't fit with the Snyderverse storyline. That's my thing with comic book movies. They're so like with Feige and guys like that, they're trying so hard. We got to stay within this universe, and I get that. Like they're trying to tell a story, and I respect that. But they're missing out on so much because
Yeah, there's so many things out there that we as the fans would love to see live action. And we're getting into the era where we can start really easily doing it on the big screen.
yeah,
Now, obviously, they should realize by now with the way Deadpool and Wolverine came to be, like if you start actually listening to your fans,
they will buy the movie.
you will make so much money.
Field of Dreams. If you make it, they will come.
Yeah, pretty much. I want a hot dog now. Take me out to the ball game.
Well, like, and that's why I am still such a big fan of the Sony Marvel verse. Not that they haven't had plenty of flops like Madam Web, but I'm gonna forever bitch about that. But
I just
so like the Craven the Hunter trailer, I am so excited for that.
I'm excited for the Craven.
And the
film.
fact that they got the Rhino in there looking awesome, like
they're definitely queuing it up for like the Sinister Six thing. I think.
yes, I don't care if they got a multiverse that somehow I want a Sinister Six. Not with Tom Holland though.
I would like
Love,
Garfield.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
I would like Garfield to do that because, like, it's one of the things I really enjoyed about was it Far From Home?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. The No Way Home being, the three different Spider-Man. From one, you got that meme of like, "Who are you?" Like, "I'm you," Spider-Man type thing, right? That was they kind of did that.
It happens in the end of the Spider-Verse too, but with like the grand scale of Spider-Man.
They just went too hard with it, I feel like. But yeah. Anyway, I think it'd be cool to see because he already had itchy. He already had such like he already had the Lizard. He had Electro. His Rhino was garbage, like the weird Russian guy in the suit. But I would like to see him fight those kind of characters.
Yeah, I think because like he talks about in there how he started pulling his punches. He was a little bit darker.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. Is Craven a part of that universe?
I mean, it's a Sony film, I think. So hypothetically,
so what was Morbius? Morbius was Sony, or was it Morbius?
Morbius was Sony.
So they could easily do
I think I don't know because like they. Well, I think it was released by Sony, but then again, they post No Way Home when the multiverse kind of exploded. Somehow Keaton's Vulture is in that universe too. So if they're just gonna like not tell us how that happened, whatever, but that would set up for Morbius, Vulture, and then you have like say Craven and Rhino, stuff like that, in Andrew Garfield's universe.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
God forbid, let Andrew get a symbiote suit in the process. All that would be phenomenal. Just freaking phenomenal. I would love it.
Yeah, I think it's Sony.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like not 100%, but I'm not 100% on anything I tell people. I just make it up as I go.
No, I'm trying to see who fucking fit the bill, but it kind of sketch.
Well, like the thing is, like Sony doesn't like brand their stuff where it's like things crossing over. So that way, if it doesn't do well, they're just like, whatever. It's a one-off movie.
Yeah, it's a Sony film. I found it entirely. The Sony Picture Entertainment. So yeah, they could easily start doing the Sinister Six. Like as far as the Michael Keaton, like that he plays a brilliant Vulture, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Like his version of Vulture is amazing to me, and I would
Keaton's
honestly
just a great actor. Period.
Yeah, and like you have the Lizard already in that verse, so why wouldn't you have Andrew Garfield do it? Like it would make so much sense.
And I love his Spider-Man so much more than Tom Holland's. I'm sorry.
And they could easily bring in the Venom thing because they've already hinted at it with Morbius being like, "We are Venom," or "I'm Venom," whatever he says.
Well, there's a lot of implication that Venom is in that universe anyway.
No, yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was like, you could fucking do the game that they recently released. You could easily do it because you have Vulture, you got Craven now with the Rhino. That right there's three of the six. You already have Electro. You've got Lizard. Yeah, I can. Morbius. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right there's all six. You've even got Vulture that can maybe step in for one of the other ones that can't. But like, I'm pretty sure they could do that. And if there really is a Venom in that verse, you could easily do the game. You have Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's like, "Oh, I wish I could fight an alien." Well, you being the way you are, Venom kind of gets attracted to him, leaves Eddie Brock or something. You all of a sudden now have how you can at this point you put in a fucking live action Miles Morales and copy the game even more so.
Well, like, so imagine, say, a movie was to play out, and then,
Because Andrew Garfield would get the fucking symbiote.
well, like, so at some point, like, say Andrew gets the symbiote suit or whatever, then maybe at some point, because it's kind of making him go completely off the rails violent,
Yeah.
Eddie tries to get Venom back. Well, then it snaps Andrew out of it, and then you have a Eddie Brock and Andrew Garfield, or Eddie Brock and Peter Parker team up against the Sinister Six.
Dude, that would
Spider-Man and Venom.
That would be amazing. And then you could lead off of that film into a live action Venom, another one where Venom is like kind of like pissed that he doesn't have Spider-Man anymore. And so now he's trying to kill him. And so now you have the classic Spider-Man fighting Venom.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Like they could easily do that now.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for sure.
there's no way that you have to do that. Like Sony, if you catch wind of this, you have to do this. Your fans want this. At least two of us do, and we're worth it.
I'm pretty sure plenty more would want something like this.
Because that would help out so many people. Is like, why haven't we had a Sinister Six film? Why haven't we had this or this? Like, why haven't we had another live action Spider-Man symbiote? Like, well,
Yeah, and
now's your
Venom
time.
is such an integral part of the Spider-Man story.
Yeah, and I always thought he was like one of the, if not the OG Spider-Man villain, which come to find out that was Green Goblin.
Yeah, say Venom and Green Goblin are like,
Yeah, Doc Ock I can see as being one of them too.
he's like probably definitely number 3.
Doc Ock reminds me of like Mr. Freeze for Batman. Like very,
Kinda.
very similar. They both rely upon tech to do their thing, and they're both super intelligent and all that kind of.
Yeah.
They kind of go anyway. That's how I perceive them. When I was a kid, that's kind of how I thought of it too. I was like, oh, they look kind of the same.
So, talking about like Marvel and like Batman and stuff. I know I watch a lot of it, and I know I've showed you some, but do you remember watching like the Bat and the Sun Superpower Beatdowns?
Yeah.
So, did you ever watch the, I think they did a couple with Deadpool. There was like Batman versus Deadpool.
I don't think I've seen those. I've seen I saw the like Power Ranger versus Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, all
Power
the
Ranger
JDF
versus-
stuff was great.
Yeah, I loved the Green Ranger versus Ryu. I thought that was cool.
Phenomenal.
I liked I know it wasn't actually JDF in this one though. The White Ranger versus Scorpion, like that was cool as shit to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I think I saw, what was it? I think I saw Captain America versus Batman. One I saw,
Well, there was one.
which is weird. Like,
They did like
I don't know how that would
Deadpool and Domino versus Joker and Harley. That was
would
a
be-
really good one.
That's a good one. That sounds good.
It was hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
They've
Might
even
look that
done
one up.
like I want to say it's like Punisher versus Red Hood, stuff like that.
So Red Hood. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so I'm get on. But so I'm a big Bat in the Sun fan.
Chip it over yourself.
What I didn't know, because I know they're doing, JDF's last film, Legend of the White
Yeah.
Dragon, which is supposed to release
Also,
this year.
I believe today is his birthday. If he would still been here with us.
He would have been like, what, 51 now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. But yes, continue.
Um,
Sorry.
So they were talking on their Facebook page about, Chris Daughtry actually wrote a couple songs for the Legend of the White Dragon film because apparently he was a big JDF fan and all that.
Awesome.
And which I'm a big Daughtry fan too, so I'm like, it's best of both worlds. What I didn't know, they were like, what? They said something about if we used him in another film or video, what role would you like to see him play? And I'm like, another one. So I Google it. Turns out they did a little 20-minute live action Batman one, which is better than half the new live action Batman shit we have now. But Chris Daughtry played Hugo Strange.
Really?
Yeah, and like, I mean, he wasn't as maniacal as you expect from Hugo Strange,
I mean,
but it was. I mean, he's not an actor,
yeah.
but it was. I just thought it was really cool that like he got to do that. But
That'd be kind of cool
So,
to see Hugo Strange.
anyways, like they do all the Red Hood, Batman, all different fan film type stuff. What about the Red Hood?
I would love to have a live action Red Hood film. Either a film or a game specifically for Red Hood. I'm not talking about like we had that Batman or the Gotham Knights.
or whatever.
That was garbage. Hot garbage. Put it in the trash. Pee on it. I don't care what you do. It's terrible. The game's terrible. Freaking dude. I love the Red Hood though because he reminds me of Deathstroke. But
very much so.
But he's got that Punisher thing going. So he's the nice anti-hero type thing that is not going to be afraid to fucking... He's going to throw down with you regardless.
Well, yeah, and you have like, what they don't imply a lot, like in like Batman Under the Red Hood and stuff like that. They just kind of bring up like the fact that he was trained by Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But you got to realize, when he was revived by Ra's al Ghul, he trained with the League of Assassins too.
Mm-hmm.
And in like Red Hood and the Outlaws and all that, they actually use that in the writing because at one point, because the Red Hood and the Outlaws takes place right after Batman is like, dude, Jason, quit using guns, quit killing people. And he agrees to like quit killing people. So he went back to his League of Assassin roots and used a katana.
That's just as unaliving capable.
I mean, yes, it is, but like, I mean, let's be for real. You're going to a fight with a gun. You're not intending on shooting him in the foot.
I guess.
But that's kind of his deal. Like, he agrees to quit using guns at least. So you see Red Hood, and I'm pretty sure he still, if it's Jason Todd, he carries a sidearm.
But I'm pretty sure he still has guns.
But like you see him at one point, and his buddy in the comic was
wasn't it Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one like second or third issue in the series where Arsenal gets killed, and that's Jason's like best friend.
Yeah.
So you see Jason with I think on issue 4 with like the Red Hood get up, but he's also wearing Arsenal's like vest with a hood on, and he has Arsenal's arrows, bow, and his katana on. And I'm like, and they'd use that for one issue, and I'm like, no, leave that.
So yeah, that's fucking cool. Like that should stay.
You quite literally have Red Hood wearing a red hood.
Red Hood's doing what his name says. He's got a damn hood on. But yeah, no, I think it'd be good to have a game like that. The game could be very similar to most like beat 'em up hack and slash like Devil May Cry it maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Like I think you could probably get away with Devil May Crying it. Maybe throw in some elements of like the whole like Batman games like where you can grapple and whatnot, but not. I wouldn't do it too much because it would really ruin how the character is. Like he doesn't necessarily do all the same shit that Batman does. Like he's nimble and agile, absolutely, but don't sit there and be like, oh well, he keep just grappling hooks everywhere.
Yeah, no, I mean like
he drives.
Batman
he rides bikes,
was about like sneaking in and all that.
Yeah.
Where Jason Todd is the guy that walks into the room in front of everybody,
yeah.
mobster with 2 Tommy guns and just mows the room down.
I think one of my favorite renditions of Red Hood was actually from the game Arkham. Actually, I think it's Arkham Knight, like the most recent one where like it has like the different trials or whatever, and you can play as the different characters.
Yeah,
you don't play as Batman. Like obviously the campaign that's Batman, but then like the time trials or whatever type little trials, you can play as Robin, Red Hood, Harley Quinn. I think is one of them you can play as, and like dude. Red Hood's got like his black pants, a white hood, like hoodie type vest.
Yeah.
With a I think it was black. No, with the red hood symbol.
Yeah.
and a red hood up over his red helmet. And I was like, dude, that looks fucking. Let me find a photo. Like, it was like one of the best depictions I've seen of Red Hood. So I was like, dude, that's definitely something that I want them to make. Is like just a game. Like, you have so many of these heroes that you're only focusing on like the real main priority ones. If you can make something like, if they were to do a game like Marvel Ultimate Alliance for DC, I don't know if they have one or not. I think they would have something there. Maybe like maybe it wouldn't be like super popular, but it would give them some kind of traction with Marvel games or like DC games being comparable with Marvel games. Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't
There's
know.
not like aside from their fighting games, the
Like
Injustice
and all that.
games, like they don't really have anything else. They got some
Well-
free to play stuff, but it's not good. It's terrible.
Well, like, they have, like, of course, the Batman games. I used to play DC Universe Online. I really enjoyed that game for a while. But, you know me, I'm kind of like, after I play a game for a little while, I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah.
I was really hoping, like, they would get that
Yeah, so here it is.
Superman game up off the ground.
See, I don't mind that, but at the same time, I'm kind of out. So yeah, here I'm gonna hand you my phone. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen,
That's amazing.
yeah, like the whole, like, biker jacket.
Yes. It looks like he's a fucking mercenary, but he's the Red Hood, and he's got like, dude, I love the color contrast where he's not obviously trying to hide in the shadows. Like, he's not black, he's fucking white and red. He's there to be seen, and he's there to fuck you up.
Well, yeah, so that's always been like the weird thing, like about Batman's story. He's like, I'm gonna take this kid in, and I'm gonna protect him. We're gonna go out at night, but I'm gonna make him wear bright colors, so he gets shot at, not me.
You gotta be quicker than that. You got shot in the leg.
Batman's like, walk it off.
Yeah, that's the version of Red Hood that I really enjoy. Is like that biker jacket type thing, and it's so fitting to me. Like, it's showing off his kind of like I'm an asshole type thing, but
Yeah.
like he's
Gives me very much that, like, that asshole in a big city that rides around on a crotch rocket.
yeah, like he's
Like,
picking a fight with everyone type thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the kind of person Jason Todd would be.
when he became that, yeah, after all the crap he went through, like he literally got beat to death by Joker, got blown up by the Joker, got resurrected by another maniacal tyrant. So
Yeah, so it was
fucking
like,
crazy.
the famously hated Batman and Robin movie.
I like that movie.
It's
Shut up.
very nostalgic.
Shut up with the Batman nipples, okay? Leave me alone.
I'm not hating on the movie. I'm actually a fan of it.
I enjoy the Mr. Freeze in it because, for one, that's the only Mr. Freeze we've ever seen on live action.
Gotham had one for like a minute, and
Big,
it was
the big screen, Mr.
Yeah.
Live Action Freeze. Come on now.
But like, I mean, honestly, I thought Arnold as Mr. Freeze was freaking hilarious.
It was
like,
amazing.
I Mr. White Christmas. All his like henchmen are shaking.
Just
He's
freezing. Yeah.
Sing with me, sing with
Yes.
me.
Yeah, I love it though. That movie was so good because it really played on at the time with the cartoony Batman shows
Yeah.
we had. So
And Uma Thurman is Poison
oh my
Ivy.
God.
Yep.
So hot.
Made every boy our age
Ah.
like redheads.
I was I will uh-huh.
But one thing I loved how they did Dick Grayson in that film. Like, his character was great,
Yeah.
but it was like a weird mix of Nightwing and Red Hood, not Robin.
True.
Because
I
they
think
kind of portrayed him as he's like really close to Bruce Wayne in age. Like, because they portrayed Bruce as like, this like 30-something-year-old playboy.
yeah, okay.
Where you had Robin out getting
Like 20
drinks and
20
stuff. Like,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's like his like his little nephew or something.
Yeah, like their
and-
brother type things, which
And
makes sense
their-
though.
But their dynamic in that film was much more like Dick Grayson when he was leaving the Bat family to become Nightwing.
So I think that's probably what they were trying to do at the time, was trying to bring in elements of the comics that they probably have did a little bit of reading on or something, because I see it now. Like, I didn't think about it to begin with, but yeah, you're right. It's very so much that where he is kind of like all on board, but he's kind of being rebellious. He's kind of being like, no, I'm going to do it this way. And then like,
And like he like sneaks out to go race motorcycles.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
makes
that's
sense.
a Jason Todd thing.
Yeah, they should at that point they could have introduced it, but at the same time I think they were just trying to keep it very like PG for
And well, then superhero movies were like not a big thing, so
nowhere near like they are now, for sure.
like they were just kind of like, meh, we'll just do whatever.
No, but that's good to know though, like that might be a thing at some point, because I mean if you think about it, like why wouldn't they do that? Especially DC's got to do something to start gaining traction on their competitor.
Yeah.
Like, I know they've had the most recent Aquaman film. It looked pretty cool. I haven't seen it. I've been waiting for it to come out.
Okay.
Is it out on a streaming thing?
I want to say it's on HBO Max.
Okay, because I might watch it on that then, because I actually really enjoyed it. So, I don't like Aquaman from the comic books. I just don't like the fucking blonde
downplay
hair.
his character too much.
Yes,
in the comics.
I know, but I really enjoyed him being played by Jason Momoa for the simple fact that he kind of gives that Aquaman is not something to be trifled with. He doesn't just talk to fish. He's incredibly strong, incredibly fast.
Yeah, well, like so I remember my introduction to Aquaman was on Boomerang of all things. They
Yeah.
had like the old Justice League show from
Yeah,
like the
I remember
early
that.
'80s or something, late
that-
'70s.
That's my same introduction as well.
And basically,
I like it, though.
Batman threw batarang, Superman, fly beat people up, Wonder
Hey.
Woman, same thing,
Yep.
Aquaman, whoa, 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 and then a fish does something.
Fish does something.
Like, okay, like
No,
Like,
you're right.
the Family Guy shtick is like,
Hey,
somebody help, he's attacking me.
you come over here, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, like Aquaman would have like literally come out of that water with the force of a hurricane and slaughtered that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing too, is Aquaman wasn't really like against unaliving people.
Well, because he was king of Atlantis. He didn't conform to like American laws, surface laws. Like,
Yeah. Well, again, that's what I was getting with the Aquaman movie. I haven't seen the second one, so I can't talk too much about it. But what I have seen of it, like the little tidbits, like I said, doom scrolling, it looks great. It's still got some little humor moments in it. But when it
it's
gets
pretty
to
good. I'll admit.
But when
it's
it gets
pretty
to
good.
the action points, like it looked pretty cool. And I do like how they gave a little bit more. Like I know the story behind it. It's like King Atlan's brother or something gets corrupted by evil powers. So I kind of enjoyed that they went more in depth with the like Atlantean lore,
yeah,
other than it being like Aquaman. Like we already got his fucking lore. He's this little kid, little mudblood, type thing. And, we already got that, which if it's anything as the length of the first one, I'm probably into it.
yeah.
Because
Well-
the first one was pretty decently long, gave enough character development. Aquaman, by the end of the film, if you didn't like him, you did now. I just really liked how he portrayed it, though. Like, the way he fought, like, I know he did a lot of training, like, doing, like, the Samoan, like, training and stuff, and which he's
Yeah.
already Hawaiian, so that came natural to him.
Yeah, and unless you read the comics, you didn't know a lot about Aquaman's
No.
upbringing. He's that guy in the weird orange shirt.
With the green
Yeah.
pants. There's another thing too. Is I don't like Aquaman's color depiction. Why the fuck is he green and yellow?
Yeah, so like I know at the end of the first Aquaman when they show him in the correct suit or whatever,
It's gold and
it's like more of a bronzish gold, and
Yeah.
that's cool. Like
that makes sense. Though,
to be fair
because-
though, that bronzish gold is what like you think of warriors.
yes, it's what I think of like warrior kings and shit.
I personally preferred him like his suit in like the Justice League and all that when it
Like
was like the silver.
I thought it was like a copperish color.
It was like a more metallic silver looking because like he didn't have
So which one? Because I know there's two different Snyder. Like there's Snyder.
well
cut
he had the same suit in either one.
I thought it was like a copper coloring with like a tealish
Then,
green
if
underline.
I remember correctly, he was using like his mother's trident.
Yeah.
So he just had like a chrome suit. It was kind of cool. Like I personally dug that. I don't
So-
mind Justice League characters not being so corny and colorful.
Do you think that they're going to do something with Cyborg?
I hope not. I don't like Cyborg really.
Uh-huh.
So I don't like that they used him. I guess I don't like they used him in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Cyborg is an integral part of like the Teen Titans.
That's what I was getting at. Do you think they're going to do like a I know they got the Teen Titan TV series, but do you think they would ever do a Teen Titan film?
I mean,
They already have
at
one of the
some
characters.
point, like, come on, like at some point they will.
Yeah,
'cause
but
Titans is like, especially the kids like that are coming into adulthood now that grew up on like Teen Titans, Young Justice, and all that.
I mean us.
Like the Teen Titans is kind of
most of the
more for
kids-
like.
Well, most of the kids now have seen that Teen Titans Go. It's like a little like cutesy
Well, I
version.
mean, whatever. Still, like you know.
No, I get it, but I would like to see a serious tone like how we had as a cartoon on Toonami.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that I loved watching Teen Titans because, for one, that'd also be another good way for them to introduce a proper Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So that's
Deathstroke is a character that I love, and unfortunately, every time we've got him live action, it's just never been in like a situation where we get enough story on him.
I liked him in the Arrow.
So I love him in the Arrowverse. He was actually in the Titans series.
And yeah, I figured as much, but I never saw him though.
The Titans series had so many like
That's why
gems, but it was like they just
they didn't
it's like
polish
they
them
had
at
all the Infinity Stones, but they just couldn't quite fit them in the gauntlet.
Nah,
like
I'm
they
good then.
so
It's
they
just not for me. Like when they start doing stuff like that, like sorry, my nose was itchy. When I last heard about Teen Titans is like I guess is maybe when it was still coming around, but like they made Starfire look like a African American prostitute that was lesbian or
Yeah, well,
something, and I was like, bro, I'm out.
they did do like Starfire and her sister kind of give more of like a old school like I give them like a black woman at a disco in the 70s kind of vibe. Like
Yeah,
like
I understand that's one of her renditions and everything.
I
I'm
mean-
completely fine with it. But I didn't like the they were doing the whole social justice bullcrap in there with these characters. So
well
stop messing with our characters.
like okay, they did pick a iteration or whatever of Starfire that wasn't that big of a fan of. The girl did a great job as Starfire though.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying it's bad. It's just
but
they picked a bad
The
guy.
guy that playing Dick Grayson, phenomenal. Like he in the beginning he was still Robin.
Yeah.
And he was like a Robin kind of. He started getting a little too violent, and then there towards I think like into season 2, like he burns the Robin suit. He's done with it, and he winds up actually going to Wayne Tech, and they're like, actually, Bruce had something for you, and it was a Nightwing suit, which they introduced. Show him becoming Nightwing and leading the Titans. Great, awesome. His character was great. Beast Boy nailed it. Connor or whoever, Superboy,
Yeah.
They did his character kind of awesome. Like he had a little bit of like not an anti-hero few episodes, but like where because he wants to meet his fathers.
Yeah.
And he was made from Lex Luthor and Clark Kent's DNA, but Superman's always off doing something off world or whatever. But his one father that was like, I would love to meet you, was Lex Luthor. Well, they had, I can't remember the dude's name. He's a famous actor. And he was Lex Luthor, but he was bald and stuff like typical Lex, but he had like a beard and he was kind of a little more gruff. Um, almost the guy almost gave me like a not it wasn't him, I don't think, but gave like a Jeff Bridges vibe. Like he's a little arrogant. Um, but he was a really cool Lex, and he winds up getting killed, and he leaves Superboy, Luthor Corps.
Wow.
And like at one point towards the end, you see like Superboy like shaves his head, and he's like, you see him like in like a suit like Lex would, and I'm like, cool story arc right there.
Cool.
Superboy goes dark and kind of becomes the next Lex Luthor.
That would be kind of interesting. I know there's that one Superman series where like it correlates with the Flash and Arrowverse type thing. I've been wanting to look into that because that guy kind of portrays a more docile Superman who's trying to live like a normal human
Superman
life.
and Lois.
I think so. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've been wanting to watch that one. I know it's in line with like I'm far behind on the Arrow and Flash series and all that shit.
So that series, if you're behind on it, don't even worry about what the Arrowverse stuff, because it's the same people from the Arrowverse. They even literally have John Diggle in it.
Oh my goodness.
But you're like, okay, well, he's off here doing his thing. Like, we can see the Flash, and like, oh no, it's a separate universe. I'm like, but why does when he see John Diggle, he's like, hey bud, what's up? Like, you're gonna no.
Yeah, I'm gonna get caught up on it eventually.
But Superman and Lois is a really good show too. Like, I love that guy's portrayal of Superman and Clark Kent.
That's what I was saying. Like he does such a nice job with it. Like it's a very more down to earth. Like the
Superman you grew up
human.
with.
Yeah, I want to be human. I don't like violence, but I will do it if necessary. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. But I'm really trying to think because there was another character I was wanting them to do at some point, either introduce in a game or maybe actually a really good game idea is they need to do, especially now with the massive hype with Marvel. Now would be a really good time to do like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 or something. Maybe reboot the Marvel Alliance games. I don't know how that would work, but they would need to do something like that for DC. Or if they don't do that for Marvel, give DC a shot at that style of game. How cool would it be that you can mix and match your heroes on a team and play with your buddies online? Like, all right, man, I'm playing as Batman. Okay, I'm on Aquaman. And
for sure.
You have some of the anti-heroes. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna. As soon as you've got Batman already, I'm gonna play Nightwing. It's like you would have so many options, and then you get like you could do like a bonus to the characters where like you do like Batgirl, Nightwing, Jason Todd, and whoever, you get like the Bat Family bonus, and they get like extra stealth or extra combo points or whatever. Like there's just so much potential. I feel like with that, and you could do like you have different team ups. Obviously, like you could do like the Teen Titans, you could do the Justice League. You could do some like the anti-heroes who are villainous majority of the time, but have their moments where they're heroic. Do fucking Dark Justice League or whatever the other opposite. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. There's some things there I feel like you could definitely do because there's so many DC characters just like Marvel. You could easily make a game like that, and I feel like right now with DC not having much traction in the video game, it might do well.
They're not having much traction anywhere right now.
Dude, Marvel just fucking blew it out of the ballpark with the fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. They're starting, like, they saw how good that did, so they're about to re-release Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 and the Deadpool game back on Xbox systems.
That'll be awesome.
Be looking out for that. I mean, it might get pushed back. It might get canceled again. Don't know. But if it does happen, I'll be happy. I'll be mad, though, too, because I just spent a lot of money on those games. But I'm also upset because I wasn't paying attention. I think tomorrow, the game I've been waiting for to come out comes out. That's Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I'm so upset. I'm like, son of a bitch. Of course. I bought Deadpool, and now I can't kill aliens in space. This is bullshit. So, again, though, I was going to ask you if you ever want to borrow Deadpool, let me know. I got it installed on my console. You can borrow it if you like and play it.
I'd have to take you up on that soon.
Dude, it's a fun game. Like, already, I made my guy, like, I made Deadpool sit there and just watch TV for 20 minutes just to hear the dialogue. And it's great. He's like, come on, player, you gonna get my ass up or what? It's just like, he's like, no, this is cool too. Ooh, titties. Like, he's just, it's very Deadpool, dude. I love it. The game is phenomenal.
See, I try to get excited for newer games. I really do.
They're
but,
not
like,
doing that good.
Well,
Like,
so like I know we've like discussed this a lot about like
nostalgia.
well like with just so used to you bought your PlayStation 2, you got out Mortal Kombat, you put the disc in and it worked.
Yeah.
Now like you buy a brand new
So-
game, you pay $80 for a new game, and it takes 6 hours to install an update.
So just so you know, with that, everything is digital. Everything's digital. The disc that you're purchasing, you're just digitally.
that's just a licensing number.
It's just a licensing number to digitally install the game to your console, but you still have to install it. Installing it is
Which
you
is
getting the game.
trash.
Yes,
It's fucking
It's
trash.
so
Okay,
annoying.
I got my first F-bomb out.
that's fine.
Over an hour in. Damn, I'm
So-
impressed.
And that's where I feel like
But-
gaming really like died out. If you think about it, I'm not saying there's not a lot of good games now, but nothing that is it, like excites me. It makes me want to sit down and literally waste my life.
I don't
to
need
play.
a story mode game to have it to update every other week.
Yes.
No, I just want to play the story.
So all that died out with PS3 and 360.
yeah, I know, and it's crap.
All of that died out.
Like the other night, I've been between work, hanging out with my kids, going to see my girlfriend and stuff, and then like editing the podcast and all that.
You went to chill and you had to do an update or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't turned my Xbox on in like a couple weeks. Turned it on and I used to use my Xbox for like my TV apps, so it was on quite a bit still.
So you might have to do what you normally do, like with your like what we experienced with my gaming computer is you got to turn it on occasionally to do updates and shit.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't think about it because like unless I want
know.
to play the game, I'm like most computer technological stuff I do right here on this laptop. But like so. I was off the next day. I got home after working like a 14-hour shift, cleaned the house, took a shower, made me a little bowl of dinner, and I'm like, I'm going to get on here and play some like GTA or something.
Yeah.
Needs to update. Next game needs to update. Next, look over and like all my games need to update, and then Microsoft notifies me, oh, my Xbox needs to update now.
Oh, so your whole thing had to just
And so I clicked update, and it was like 8 hours worth of updates. And I don't like post on TikTok very often, but I posted a little rant on TikTok, and I got so many messages from like dudes our age being like, "Man, I fucking hate it." Da da da. Like,
I mean, it's a pain in the ass, dude. Like it's all it boils down
Like-
to. Because like you want people to play your game, but then you want them to install this and do this. Like, dude, I get it. I just had to do an update, a 2-hour update of my game the other night. I was like, I'm gonna do this while I'm sleeping. Just installed it. I was like, I'll get back to it anyway. Fine. But dude, I get it. There's so much out there that they're not focusing on that they really need to be. Like,
yeah,
you get a lot of wins. What was it saying? You can catch more flies with honey than you can with salt.
yeah.
So why are these people not listening? And like
Go on Reddit, Facebook, Instagram,
Anywhere and
TikTok,
everywhere, really.
YouTube, anywhere where users can comment, they are telling entertainment creators what they want.
they're giving them ideas of how they
Like,
can do
here's the
things.
thing.
Like it's crazy, man.
I've dabbled. Years ago, I wrote my own like little comic character
Yeah.
story, and last time I was on COVID, I got really bored on day 3, and I found that old notebook, and I got bored and like started restructuring that whole character. And I get right, so I get like writing, and I'm planning on releasing that in the next couple of years. So it may just be a cheap thing on Amazon, but whatever. Um, so I understand the concept of the thing you're writing is your art, whether it's a game, a book.
Yeah.
But like, especially when you're using regurgitated characters that we've been using for 70 plus years, like Batman, Iron Man, Captain America, whatever. Just
It's hard to kind of top those, man.
the thing is, like, it's cool. You want to make another, 15th freaking Spider-Man game. Well, okay. First off, go read reviews on all the old Spider-Man games and what people liked and didn't like.
Yeah.
Everything that's on the didn't like thing,
it's like
don't put that in your game.
Ryan Reynolds is a fucking peak person for it. He's like, I recently saw a little video where he was telling people in the X-Men Origins movie, he's like, you shouldn't do that this way. You shouldn't make Deadpool do this. Like, this is not how Deadpool at all is. And like, obviously they didn't listen, but he needed a paycheck, so he's like, I guess I'll do it. And then fucking completely retconned it because he's like, yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Well, like, he kind of was already gun shy about superhero films after the Green Lantern thing.
Yeah.
And which wasn't as bad of a movie as people made it out to be.
It's just it's poorly executed on the producers and directors, man. Like they don't listen to what should be done. Like they do. I get they're trying to have their own vision of it and everything. I was like, but you need to start with something that the fucking fans and communities already love, and you can ease them into your idea. That's just my personal thought process.
It's fine if you just want to. If you want to do your own thing, make up your own character.
Yeah.
Like, so, I'm just going to, a random character. We'll talk about, like, the George Clooney Batman movie.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell's Dick Grayson. Yeah, it was kind of a little weird because he's like a mixture of all the different Robins. Yeah. And, I mean, for the time, it was fine, whatever. But if they did that now, oh, my God, they would get shit on immediately.
Oh, instantly.
But think about this. If you just want to really create a Robin like that, well, you can create some other character, hero, whatever, and write a sidekick. Well, you're already writing a sidekick character. So Robin, the world's most famous sidekick, pick all the best qualities of all the different Robins.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally, they did that with, like, Winter Soldier. Like, he was essentially Captain America's Robin.
Yeah.
And then, then everybody went crazy with the whole Jason Todd becoming Red Hood and getting killed off. So what they do in the comics? Killed off Bucky.
Yep.
And he became the Winter Soldier. But see, that's what Marvel did. They were like, okay, we like this. I didn't really like this part, though. So you know what? I'm going to
just clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like clean it up, make it
clean
a little
it
bit
up,
nicer.
make it their own thing.
Yeah. Add a little extra seasoning that wasn't there originally.
It's like, do that. Like, Todd McFarlane was writing his own thing, and they were like, "Oh no, why don't you put out another Ghost Rider comic?" And he's like, "I'm writing characters. I'm drawing cool characters.
I'm creating a character for this studio," and they just like, nope, that's stupid. You're fired.
Yeah,
cool.
And it's
bye. And now he's like, I would say arguably like one of the most sought after people. To like, people are like begging, like, we want Spawn, like, give us more, like, we want that.
Yeah, and like, I hate that because he's not Marvel or DC, even like comics that aren't so popular, like Variant and stuff like that, because he's not them, you don't hear about him as much other than Spawn.
Which, to be fair, it was quite loud with his Spawn whenever we were at that collectible shop.
Yeah,
dude. Squatch and I, we were at this collectible store over in a mall. There was like the Spawn Bible. It was so thick, wasn't it? It was like what, maybe two? It was like 7 inches thick.
Compilation of like all the first like runs of Spawn.
Dude, it was awesome. And for like $30, I really considered buying it. I was like, oh, it's a lot.
I was looking at it too, and I wanted it, but I'm like, what? Am I really going to read that?
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah. That's another reason why I didn't. I would probably shrink wrap it and keep it safe.
Yeah. So like, you know, oh God, I could go on about Spawn forever. I remember my cousin who he don't listen to this podcast anyway. I haven't spoke to him in like 10 years. But growing up, his parents were like, uber religious. Like I remember they had this big like rock hill driveway that curvy and stuff. And on the way down, I was riding my bike like full blast, probably going way too fast on a kid's bicycle, and my brakes didn't work.
Yeah, you were.
And there was a pile of rock and brick. So I just like turned to avoid it, clipped it, got sent off the bike. I was like 8 years old, and I think I said, shoot, I hurt my freaking knee. Parents got on to me for using bad words. Okay, they were them people. But like he had a Super Nintendo in his room, and that really dates this talk. And he had just got the Spawn game for Super Nintendo.
Dude, I bet that was fun to play.
And I'm like, dude, you got Spawn? He goes, yeah, it was one of my friends gave it to me for my birthday. I'm like, your friends are cooler than mine. My friends are all poor like me.
My friends, that's so wrong.
Like we would loan each other games all the time.
Just like I just offered. I was like, hey, man, you want to borrow a game?
Like, I remember, I got Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and you hadn't really played it much.
Yeah, no,
and then I let you borrow it, because I'm like, well, I've got Grand Theft Auto 3. I got the 3 Vice City group pack. I'm like, here, you can take Vice City. Well, then, about a month or two later, like, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You through with Vice City? No, not yet.
Yeah, I was playing the fuck out of that game.
Like, go over, and, like, you have, like, I remember like when you get to the point with the house and you can like save your car, you had like 9 different saved profiles. Like, oh, if I want to play with like motorcycles, I go to this one. If I want the Humvee, I go to have Lambos for this one. Like,
oh, don't judge me.
And I was like, okay, cool. Can I have my game back?
Well,
let me do one more profile real quick.
To be fair, not too long after that, we did end up picking that game up, so we both were able to have copies.
But that was such a good game.
I want to fucking hook up my old Xbox now. I was actually thinking about it last night. I was like, I really want to get another entertainment center. I just don't have the money to spend right now, where I can set up my Xbox, because like I have the OG Duke Xbox controller, right? I'm pretty sure I fixed it, because I think it was just the adapter wasn't connecting to the console right. It wasn't getting the proper connection or something. Anyway, in my game room that we used to record in, dude, I'm at the perfect length away from the TV for that controller to sit comfortably in my hand without like the cord being stretched tight.
Yeah.
So like, I want to sit there and like be on Xbox party chat talking to my friends whilst I'm playing freaking like Legacy of Kain, or dude, that'd be so fucking cool. That's another game they need to redo. Legacy of Kain, just Soul Reaver in general.
Yes.
They need to do. I would love for that to be a live action movie.
That would be awesome.
That would be an amazing vampire movie.
Dude, we have not had many good vampire movies.
Not lately.
Like in the last little bit. Like,
and I swear to God, I hear anybody say Twilight.
Twilight was not a vampire movie. That was teenage girl porn.
Yeah, that you were paying for softcore porn.
Like necrophilia and bestiality is all it was.
Yep, a lot of not okay things.
But like, and I think that's why I did like the Morbius movie. It was a more throwback to more just kind of twisted, creepy vampire films.
But was it really
better chairs?
No, it's cool.
I would actually do it in there, like on the couch, but don't want the AC blowing in the mics.
I need not to be so fat. That's what it is.
But like Morbius was a decent vampire film.
I just didn't like. There's not really many good vampire movies. Period. Like I think like the last
one I saw I liked honestly was Van Helsing.
I was gonna say so. I really enjoyed. It was kind of a werewolf vampire movie, like the Underworld movies. I thought were really
they were good.
Like they had like what you would think as vampires in there.
I always wanted a crossover between Underworld and Blade.
Yes. So did I.
Like,
We all did.
yes.
I was like, I remember when I first saw the first Underworld, I thought it was Blade 3 at the time. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, we're watching Blade? Because I loved Blade. And I was there watching it, and I was like, is this like a female Blade? Like, I even asked my dad, I was like, is this like a woman version of Blade? He's like, yeah, pretty much. And then, like, turns out she's just a vampire
Yeah.
that's killing werewolves. And I was like, this is the fucking cool.
Dude, so talking about vampires and werewolves. In Van Helsing, the scene where Hugh Jackman turns into a werewolf.
Yeah.
Is that not the gnarliest werewolf you have ever seen?
It's right up there.
Like, just him versus Dracula. God, that was awesome.
It's what I would just about the whole vampire thing with the Underworld is like what you would expect of a werewolf. And I really enjoyed the werewolves of Underworld. I like their design, but yes, Van Helsing has like your pinnacle of like what a werewolf is. Like he's larger than his human form. He's by far stronger and more agile. I almost said accurate. He's more accurate and stronger than the human.
He might be more accurate. I don't know.
But yeah. But that's another thing too they could redo is, I wouldn't say they need to reboot Van Helsing, but maybe like remaster that game because that game was really fun.
I wouldn't mind a rebooted Van Helsing movie.
Really though, like could you handle
Like-
Hugh Jackman not being the guy with the crossbow?
I think I could.
So maybe they could get away with doing like an older Van Helsing that trains a younger one, like a loved one or something, like his son or something. Maybe like even his daughter, because like that would make sense to have a female Van Helsing. I know that's a thing somewhere.
Yeah, that's a Netflix series. She's like a descendant
Oh,
of him. I don't know.
I don't like the whole descendant thing. I like the whole like I'm gonna train my offspring to do what I do.
Well, they have like the whole like Winona Earp, which is like she's like a descendant of Wyatt Earp, but she's
Yeah.
like fighting zombies.
That sounds dumb.
It's an interesting show, but the story is kind of
This reminds me of Jonah Hex. What did you think of that movie?
I didn't
I didn't like
hate
any of
it. I didn't hate it, but they did the character Jonah Hex dirty.
But see, I thought Jonah Hex was very like similar to like kind of like how Constantine is,
Kinda.
like along like the same like magical realm type thing.
Yeah, well, like, so Jonah Hex, he's a weird DC character because, like, he doesn't fit in with,
Anyone?
because he's in the Western times,
Gotcha.
but
So, because I said Constantine, that's why I thought
like,
Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex kind of comes in more with, like, the whole traveling time and the multiverse and all that.
That's weird.
So DC
So-
Legends of Tomorrow or whatever, there's
Would-
times when they go back and, like, team up with Jonah Hex.
Would Jonah Hex be like the Ghost Rider of Marvel?
Kinda, because
Like-
what I was thinking as we were saying this was weird crossover film. Jonah Hex with like Cowboy Ghost Rider.
I mean, I don't know if they would do it because that's Marvel and DC being
Oh, they
merged.
cross over in the comics some. It would have to be like a weird, off the beaten path, like fan funded film.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like, it would be a cool movie for sure.
Yeah. So Constantine, who do you think that's going to be coming around? Because like Keanu Reeves has already stated, he
I don't
wants
want
to do
him.
Constantine.
I don't
again.
want him to do the next Constantine. I loved his
Why?
movie. I loved his movie.
Dude, he plays such a good Constantine.
Does, but the guy from DC Legends of Tomorrow,
Fits the bill better. Yes.
he did it perfectly. He even voices him in the animated stuff now.
That's true.
And they did him dirty on his series. Like, and
he had a series.
Yeah, I'm only assuming that because you can't find it anywhere. But
You
like,
can't find it anywhere.
I'm like, is it so bad that you can't? No one's like, nope, don't watch it. Don't watch it. But he was just such a good Constantine. He was
I've
like,
seen him. He definitely got like the British accent and everything.
Well,
yeah.
the British accent, he has the look down.
Yeah. No, you're
Like,
right.
Keanu's
but-
Constantine was great. Don't get me wrong.
I just want to see a continuation of it. Like, just one more film.
Like,
Just one.
as its own thing, I love his Constantine.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like fitting in with the continuity of like the current DC universe, if we ever actually get it, James Gunn, hurry the fuck up. We're supposed to be talking about Marvel, but I'm a DC nerd like no other. Like,
Yeah, I think that's where like we separate because I like them both, but I'm more of a Marvel. We've said this earlier the other day, dude. Marvel is my goat. Like it's my go-to. There's so many relatable characters. The characters are more interesting in me. I know some of them are rip-offs from DC characters. I get that, but dude, Marvel's just got so much going for them. They have been knocking it out of the ballpark with their games, their comics, their books, their shows, their fucking movies.
see,
Everything they have is good.
So with my thing, like I will give them movies and games for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, DC, it's taken them 50 million years to release one film. Like it's hard to compete with that.
So I will say DC does have good TV series.
I prefer DC's like series. Their animated stuff is out of this world. Like
True. Yeah, I haven't seen very much. Like by anime, I mean like I've like the X-Men and some of the other stuff. Like I've seen like the animated films, like where they get like Hulk fighting Wolverine and all that stuff. Those movies are great, but I will say that DC definitely has the animated. The animated films are fucking all DC.
Well, like DC animated, that's like you can watch that with your kid, or you can just sit down and watch it yourself. Like
yeah, that's true.
I will like their animated stuff is out of this world. One of my coworkers when I used to work doing like restorative therapy, we all like were superhero nerds, and we were in a therapy meeting, just kind of having pizza, talking after the meeting, and ever since you sent me that picture last night of the Goofy pizza, I've been wanting a cheese pizza really bad.
I'm just saying, man. Good trip and go get some pizza after this.
Yeah, maybe.
Good, maybe.
But so like,
no, dude, I get it. Like,
but like we were talking about it, and my director of therapy there, Miguel, he was like, no, he goes, I love Marvel wholeheartedly. He's like, I'm a Marvel fanboy. He goes, but when it comes to animated stuff, sorry, DC takes the cake.
oh no, they do. Like that's what I'm getting at. Is like especially like
now.
that,
I will say, if you have not watched the Doctor Strange animated movie, it is on par with the DC films.
I haven't seen that
like,
one yet.
I saw that on Netflix right before Doctor Strange come out, live action, and I was like, oh, Doctor Strange is on. Oh, it's animated. But I watched it and I was like, wow, this is pretty good.
So
when the live action come out, they were so close, like as far as the way they did the story and everything.
I'm curious. Then, what did you think of Black Adam? I feel like that might be like I feel like
there
Black
was a lot
Adam,
of potential there.
I feel like Black Adam has got a nice little footing so far. Dwayne The Rock fucking Johnson plays a really good Black Adam.
So he was good in it, and I think as a whole, the movie was decent.
Didn't like Adam, the
yeah, well,
Ant-Man wannabe type thing, like.
Well, Atom Smasher.
Yes.
Well, I mean, because he was supposed to be Atom Smasher's like nephew, and I didn't like the guy who they had play the older Atom Smasher either. I just don't like him. So the dude, you ever seen Kevin James's "Here Comes the Boom"?
No.
Okay,
Maybe.
well, there's like a old music teacher at the school. It's the reason why Kevin James gets into like UFC fighting in the movie to save the school's music program.
Yeah.
Little like nerdy guy, weird, creepy old guy.
Huh.
But so in the Black Adam movie, Hawkman, I did not like that they deviated from the lore of Hawkman.
What do you mean?
So Hawkman and Hawkgirl are actually supposed to be like descendants from ancient heroes. That's the reason they get the powers and all that. And basically in every timeline, like when they die, they're reincarnated, and in every timeline they wind up together.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They didn't really, and maybe they just didn't spend any time to
I
go
don't
into the
I
lore
don't
because
think
they didn't
spent-
tell story on him. Like they
They-
just kind of said, "Here he is."
Yeah, they didn't do.
Total rip off of the X-Men thing, though.
Oh, the wing
When they're at
the plane thing.
Hawkman's, giant mansion,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like the plane comes up out of the ground, like and that's X-Men.
Yep.
It was cool, nonetheless. It was awesome.
I liked Doctor Fate.
Oh, Dr. Fate, I'm mad that he didn't have his own movie before that.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, Doctor Fate. I feel like his first live action appearance was a very big success, but was poorly wasted on the time frame like they did. Like they should have
Yeah.
done something differently with him. I would have been fine if they would have had some more character development on him. But I know the movie's about Black Adam. That's fine. I didn't know who the Twirly Bird chick was. Didn't know who she
Yeah.
was. Well, I was like, I've never heard of that character.
That means they were running out of budget, so they had to put like a B team superhero in to fill out the team.
apparently did too.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of them. But I loved like Black Adam himself. Hawkman was good, and Doctor Fate was good. The other two were just filler. I get that.
And I hated that they ended with Henry's Superman, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, Henry's out of the DC stuff."
Yes, that's what I was about to. Guess what I was getting at. Like, so now I know how you feel. It's like, why the hell, man? Like,
Well, and from what I heard, like they weren't really like in serious talks of a Black Adam 2, but
why not? You
Well-
literally had him at the end.
well,
Speak
because
to one of your biggest.
the reason like they weren't in serious talks of it was because how Dwayne Johnson wanted Black Adam 2 to go, basically to be like kind of like we talked about the whole Spider-Man fight each other and team up
Yeah,
of like Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman.
that would have been cool.
I think the ending, it would have been more accurate. I feel like to have like Shazam show up because him and Black Adam were kind
But-
of
At the time, he's a kid. Like he
but-
doesn't really, like he just is coming into those powers and everything. Doesn't really know. So that's why I was saying, like maybe if they did a Black Adam 2, they could definitely do the Superman fighting Black Adam and everything because Adam like can feel the power or something of Shazam, but when he goes to find him, he realizes it's just a kid. So he starts trying to like manipulate him, or maybe
Yeah.
he perceives this little boy who is Shazam has like certain qualities of what Adam's son was, who was the original ones.
Yeah.
And like in the Black Adam, how they portrayed it, he was supposed to be the hero, but his dad took it. You could be like, Black Adam just sees the qualities that his son had in Shazam, so he's trying to manipulate him. Like, no, you need to come with me. We have the same power, type thing. And like Superman's trying to stop them because Superman perceives it as him like trying to like kidnap or unalive Billy. So like that's what I'm starting to thinking. It's like they could
Yeah, I
easily do that
they
fucking
could have done
animated
some really
film.
cool stuff with it. But from what I heard, like once Henry, was booted from the DCU,
Oh yeah, I forget.
DCEU.
They're gonna just have that new Superman who casually puts his fucking boots on while Brainiac's destroying the planet.
Yeah, but like so once Henry was out, like
Didn't like that little bit.
before they even confirmed that they weren't doing anything with Black Adam, like Dwayne was like, I don't really want to do it.
Why?
Well, his thing was he wanted that fight scene with Henry Cavill. He wanted it.
Oh, so when they canned Cavill, he no longer wants to do it.
Yeah, he was just like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
He wants to be known as the character who fights Superman. Do you
Yeah.
like that's such a big honor if you think about it to so many people and kids is like you have the way that they would perceive it is you have The Rock fighting Superman.
yeah.
Like of course he wants to fight Superman. Like Henry Cavill has set such a high bar for Superman, I feel like. The only
Oh.
one who comes close to beating him is the guy in fucking Lois and Clark or Clark and Lois.
Yeah,
whatever it's
Superman
called.
and Lois.
Yeah, that one.
Lois and Clark is a complete different show, and it is Dean Cain's Superman was complete trash. like,
I'm sorry.
like I will throw a kryptonite rock at him myself.
But I liked that version of Superman because like it was very fitting, you know, like he did the typical like the older Superman, like he wanted to have a family, so he went out back to his farm, takes over the farm, you know. I love that. I was like, cool, but he still does Superman shit.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the coolest things I saw him like again doom scrolling because I'm terrible, haven't kept up with shows. But like he's at like a football practice with his son or a football game with his son, and like he sees his son's eyes are glowing red like his, so he's like, shoot it into my hand, and like he's just cupping this like full uncontrollable eye blast.
His son is like he can't quite control his powers yet.
I was like, that's fucking cool. That's some shit Superman would actually do.
Like imagine like. Him, like his son Jonathan, being at school and like, your dad's a loser, da da da, and he's like, my dad just took like a radiation to 3 suns in the palm of his hand and was like,
exactly, like he does Superman shit, and it's cool. And I think one of my favorite parts is again like just doom scrolling. I don't mean I want to watch the show because of this. It's like the military's there to do something, and they shoot him in the shoulder with like shrapnel of kryptonite. He gets fucking pissed. And he's like, leave my farm now. And you can tell like he had that anger, but he's being Superman and he's controlling it. I was like, dude, yes. Plus, another thing that would have been cool for the Black Adam and Superman thing is Superman could have been like, I haven't been able to go all out, but now I can. Like he starts just fucking hitting him, dude. Like, I think it'd be cool to have seen
like,
that.
could you imagine like that fight? Like, imagine Black Adam, Superman, basically either side of the globe, flying headfirst into each other.
Yes,
that would like divide the planet, like quite physically.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, that's the shit I want to see. Is like, dude, you could actually have had Superman let loose a little bit.
That would be the closest thing to a great, like, say, Vegeta and Goku fight live action that we could get.
Like, we already had that shit kind of, sort of, with Henry Cavill fighting Doomsday.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess Zod, but, like, he was still pulling his punches on Zod because he didn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
So, I get it, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, it would have been cool. Like, he could have, like, he had, like, Superman at the end of that film had that serious tone. He's like, it's been a while since the world's been this nervous. So I was like, dude, he's like... He's doing Superman lines. Like, come on. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think we've already gone completely off the rails with this Marvel thing and
went into DC.
But I think we get to a good stopping point here because turns out our distributor won't put our stuff on YouTube if it's over 2 hours.
Really?
So yes, we better cut it off a little before then. But yeah, so thank anyone who listened to us rant about superhero nonsense for the last 2 episodes now.
Yeah. We appreciate
it's been great. We love all this. I promise you we'll get back to more conspiracy theory-esque and serious topics later. Unless our listeners want more of this, because we can do this for, like I said, we run over the time. So
yeah, we usually give ourselves a time limit and it's gone. It's gone.
But and always enjoy recording another episode with you, bro. It's
always fun, man.
Listeners, we're on Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram at the Squatch and Yeti and Facebook at the Squatch and Yeti Show. Feel free to message us. Even if it has nothing to do with the show and you just want someone to talk to, hit us up.
Comment, message, like we're however
share
you want
the
to
stuff.
Get around.
Facebook has been a little iffy with sharing our episodes, so
probably
if you
could too graphic.
If you would really love to help us break the Facebook algorithm, I would be down for it, and we would greatly appreciate it.
With that being said,
Fuck you, Zuckerberg, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode.
That's not a good thing to say.
That's a very good thing to say.